Hey everyone, Kevin Duffy here at Gillette Stadium with Patriots beat columnist Karen Gregan. It is week 13. The Vikings are coming to Foxborough for what's probably going to be one of the tougher games remaining on the past regular season schedule. We're going to talk about the three keys here for the Patriots. Starting with the running game for New England, I think we've kind of discussed it every week. When they're a balanced offense, they're at their best. We saw that against the Jets a week ago. Going against this Vikings team, though, a lot of teams have abandoned the run because Minnesota is so strong against the run. So the question for the Patriots is, how long do you stick with this if it's not successful right away?
Or do you stick with it at all? I mean, typically the Patriots are a game plan specific team. So if they're going against a team like the Vikings, I believe they're like the fourth best against the run, and they're
actually top five both pass and run.
Yeah. So, typically, they shy away. So do they shelf Sony Michel after gaining 133 yards against the Jets? I've actually found, looking at the film, that in the games that the Vikings lost, those teams, namely the Saints and the Bears, had a little bit of success running between the tackles.
Patriots tried early in the season, if you remember. They kept forcing the ball to Sony Michel on stretch plays, trying to get him out on the perimeter. It just really didn't work, and he's since become more of a between-the-tackles grinder type of runner, and we've seen him break off some long runs, too, against the Jets, so that's hopefully a trend for them that continues here against Minnesota. But I think your point is a good one. I don't know if you want to spread it out and just throw it 45 times against Minnesota. I don't know if you want to hand it off 35 times. I think that they want to probably be as balanced as possible.
Try a little bit of balance. Again, It sets up their play action. If they're just going to be one-dimensional, I mean, that's kind of probably stifled their attack.
Second key is the Patriots' defense against Vikings wide receiver Adam Thielen. Very few teams have had any answer for Thielen this year. He's got 100 yards in all but 2 games. He's on pace for 135 catches, so the single-season receptions record, 143 by Marvin Harrison, completely in play. So point being, no one has figured out how to slow this guy down. He's, to me, a particularly troubling matchup for the Patriots because he does a lot of his damage from the slot. And the Pats have one of the best perimeter corners in the game in Stephon Gilmore, but I don't know how much Gilmore is going to see Thielen if Thielen's playing from the interior mostly.
The other part of the wrinkle to the equation is the Vikings' other receiver, Stefon Diggs, has been injured and hasn't really practiced all week. And if he doesn't play, how does that affect the mix? Because you would think that's who Gilmore would basically be assigned to on the perimeter.
Right. So
if Diggs doesn't play, does that put Gilmore in play for Thielen?
And the final key for the Patriots, getting Josh Gordon going. I thought after a lackluster game in Tennessee, he only caught 4 of 12 targets against the Titans. He was quietly very efficient, caught all 5 of his targets for 70 yards against the Jets, and it just looked natural. Against the Titans, it looked like Brady was forcing the ball to Gordon, and it didn't work. I mean, he only completed 25% of those passes. Against the Jets, that was a step in the right direction. Josh Gordon on slant routes, on comebacks, those type of routes, he won every time Brady looked to throw the ball.
Yeah, it was a very quietly effective and efficient game for him, and I think that potentially Sunday afternoon could be an even better game for him. The Vikings cornerback Xavier Rhodes, yes, he's had a hamstring injury that he's been hobbled by all during the week in practice. We're not sure if he's even going to play. So if he does play with this hamstring problem, I think Gordon just might eat him alive, and I'm sure Tom Brady will target Gordon all day long.
Xavier Rhodes went down in that Green Bay game and could barely walk off the field. It looked like a severe injury. Mike Zimmer has said all week that it's, quote, very minor, which sometimes leads you to believe it's not at all. He did practice on Friday, so we'll have, I don't know what his game is. He'll probably be questionable for the game. But as Karen said, if he's limited at all, that's a matchup you want to take advantage of, Josh Gordon against Rhodes.
And as I said, I'm sure Brady will be looking to Gordon for that very reason.
All right, we'll wrap it up there. You can find all our Patriots-Vikings coverage on BostonHerald.com.